Hey there everybody. Is it spring yet? I don't know. Let's have a look around. Here's the track. As you can see, half mud. Out back there is half snow. Actually, the snow's been doing a lot of melting today. Also, as you can see, there's really not a cloud in the sky. It's like 65 degrees. This is the first time it's been this warm and this sunny in the state of Maine since like friggin' October. Maybe even before that. I'm not really sure. But let's just say I'm having a hard time wiping the smile off my face because it has been a long winter and spring has been way overdue. And it must be getting close to spring because, as you can tell, you can actually see the Mud King's tractor, whereas about a month and a half ago this thing was completely buried under about 4 feet of snow. So yeah, that's a good sign. There's a little bit of snow left here in my yard, but it is receding. Now, I know a lot of you have probably been expecting an update on the Redneck side-by-side, but since it's such a nice day, I didn't want to really trap myself in the garage working on this thing. As you can see, pretty much everything is as I left it in the last video, just boxes and parts and engine just laying around. I've been toying with the idea of actually taking the motor, instead of mounting it before the axle, and actually mounting it up and above the rear axle just to keep it up out of the water and the mud, like kind of more or less up here. I'm not really sure how that would work, but I could build a cradle and mount the engine in the back, so that way this thing could do some deep water crossings without drowning the motor. I don't know, maybe you guys can let me know what you think in the comments section. Maybe I should leave it where I originally planned. I haven't welded anything down, haven't committed myself to anything yet, but yeah, you know, give me some feedback on that. And with the weather being so nice, it's been hard to not be outside doing some spring cleanup stuff because the snow's finally melting away. My yard is a complete mess. Otherwise, I'd be starting the Sears and the Murray and driving those around. But if I take them out in the lawn, the old lady's going to kick my ass because I'm essentially going to ruin it, especially with the 25-inch Vampires on the back of the Sears. So I'm going to wait till things firm up a little bit. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, it's mud, drive it through the mud, but my entire yard is mud. If I drive it through the yard, I'm going to literally destroy everything. As far as everything else is concerned, the go-kart that I built last year has just been sitting here all winter, unstarted. Same with the Murray and the diesel Sears. Hopefully I'll be doing some cold starts, or actually technically old starts on those coming up real shortly. The go-kart, or actually the racing mower, I guess I now have to call it, is sitting under the sheet over there, because this is now, I guess, the official go-kart. But I got a little surprise for you guys. Kind of a big deal for me, not so much for you, but I'll take you outside and show you real quick. So there we go. I bought a new truck. I actually sold the Jeep. Got a decent amount of money for it, about $200 less than book, and I bought this thing, and I couldn't be happier. I actually picked this up for about $4,000 less than book value. It's a 2005 Dodge Ram quad cab. It's got the 5.7 liter Hemi V8 inside of it, which does a nice job of guzzling gas and emptying my wallet, but who cares when the thing sounds as good as it does. As you can see, it's got the 20-inch premium wheels on it. Those tires should be nice and expensive to replace come time to do that. But I spent the day basically tuning it up, changing the spark plugs, which, if you didn't know, there's 16 of them in these Hemis, and actually cleaning out the interior. I cleaned all the human scum out. As you can see, I left the floor mats a little scummy because it's mud season here in Maine, and pretty much everything is a sponge at this point, including my driveway, the lawn, absolutely everything. But yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. The sun's not going to really cooperate with me with the glare, but you can see it's got the white face gauges in it. It's also, I guess you can't tell because it's shut off now, but it's got about 96,000 miles on it, which is pretty low miles for 2005. It's in very good condition. Usually they have tons of rust over the rear fender wells, and this one does have some. You can't really see it, I don't think, in the video, but you can see some bubbles here. Some stuff that I am going to have to address before next winter. There's some rust holes up underneath the inner fender well. But it's nothing I'm really afraid of. The Jeep was definitely pretty rusty too, and I fixed that, so I'm not really that worried about it. But it is a quad cab, so it's got a full rear seat, which is great for the kids. As you can see, I got the booster seats already in there. Really happy with this thing. Haven't had many problems with it, or any problems really to speak of at all. It's pretty awesome. It's got a nice loud exhaust. I am going to have to fix the exhaust. We'll go around the other side and have a look. The previous owner basically put I think it's either a Flowmaster or MagnaFlow. I know there's a big difference. I can't remember which kind, but he basically put a dual outlet muffler on it and dumped it right in front of the rear axle, so this thing is extremely loud. It's a little too loud for my liking. I do like the way it sounds, but when you start getting into highway driving and cruising around town, when you get into the 2,000 RPM range, it just kind of drones on you. But it's got a remote start, so I'll start it up here for you guys. You can hear it if she cooperates. Yep, she's gonna go. So you can see it sounds pretty fucking badass. Some about these Hemi V8s, the way they sound is just, it's just gnarly. I think they come with like 345 horsepower from the factory. If I put the key in the ignition, I can actually rev it up for you and show you kind of more or less what this thing sounds like. Whatever. But yeah, have a listen to this thing. It's kind of a cold start, so she's a little snappy right now, but as you can see by the smile on my face, I couldn't be happier with this thing. So far I've had it for 4 or 5 days, no check engine lights, transmission's in really good shape, came with a few extras, the exhaust obviously, the interior's in really nice shape. I'll show you under the hood real quick. Dodge really did their homework on these things. The interior and just all the creature comforts are just on point. I really like it. As you can see, the previous owner put one of these high flow cold air intakes, and usually I don't like these cold air intakes because they don't have the block off plate, but this one actually came with a upper airbox assembly which actually seals against the hood and still uses the factory cold air inlet right here that comes through the fender. Big ass Spectre filter, that was the name brand I think on the whole filter assembly. Thing is run really good. I changed all the spark plugs today, all 16 of them. You can imagine that was real fun, especially when you get back behind this brake booster tube. It took me a couple of hours, but all in all, I am very happy with this truck. Haven't done any towing with it, but it's going to be nice having the bed space in addition to being able to haul a trailer and the wife and kids in the back. Well, maybe not the wife in the back, but the kids in the back, wife in the front, mowers in the back, mowers in the trailer. So yeah, pretty sweet little upgrade for me. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm pretty psyched. This thing's going to enable me to drive longer distances with tractors and not feel like I'm being bounced all over the place. The Jeep was kind of a rough ride. Don't get me wrong, I love the Jeep. The Jeep was awesome. It was great for off-roading, but I definitely don't think I'm going to be off-roading this thing. I am, however, probably going to boost the front end a little bit and put some bigger tires on it. That's going to run me quite a bit of money, and I got a few other upgrades, some of which I've already ordered that are on the way. You know, I'll show you that stuff as it appears if anyone's really interested in the Dodge. Yeah, I'll do a walk around of it if I get enough requests for it. But that's what's going on in my life. I figured I'd fill you guys in. Sorry I didn't do a redneck side-by-side video this week. My garage has kind of got some water on the floor, so I don't really want to weld while staying in a puddle. I'm not really fond of the idea of getting electrocuted for doing YouTube videos, so I'm going to hold off on that. But, you know, a video like this is better than nothing, so let me know what you guys think. I know half of you are probably going to say you should have bought a Ford, the other half are going to say you should have bought a Chevy, but you know what, whatever. I found this thing, the price was right, and it fits me pretty well. But yeah, that's the video. Sorry I didn't get anything done, but that's what's going on here. I've been busy, so hopefully next weekend I'll have time to do some YouTube stuff as opposed to my own personal crap. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you hopefully next week.